Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you want to go online and build a website, Squarespace is 110% the platform for you to do so. My bikes have never looked so radically different and enhanced and updated. Firstly, my downhill bike. This thing has been a legendary article for me. It enabled me to do Darkfest twice. It enabled me to do Hardline last year, although it got cancelled. This very frame enabled me to race Tasmania at the start of the year. And this very frame, 4 days ago, jumped the river gap at Red Bull Hardline.
Bloody hell.
And maybe one of only 2 bikes to jump it successfully all year. News to be confirmed. Marin haven't made downhill bikes for years. I've discussed this, but it's a very important time right now because this bike is actually very, very nearly, I don't want to say too much, but it's on the horizon. And so many people are excited about this Marin because Marin bikes are made for fun. Downhill bikes are made to win downhill World Cups, but this bike falls in the middle. It's so unbelievably playful and enjoyable to ride, and that's why I think it's going to do well. It's also aluminium, which is going to make it much less expensive than all the carbon fibre downhill bikes. And this year, I'm pretty certain, although I don't want to make any promises, it's actually going to be available, which is so badass because this was going to be a bike check, but let me just explain. If someone gave you the choice between being 1.5 seconds slower down a really long downhill track, but enjoy it 10 times more, that for me is like an exchange, a transaction you would accept every single time. That's what this does. Like, its geometry and its design is so much more tailored towards having the best time ever and feeling playful and doing whips and squaring off corners. And whether or not you lose a tiny bit of that planted feeling when you're going down something that steep covered in wet roots, I don't care because I smile more than I've ever smiled riding a bike on this. So for Hardline, I'm going 27 rear wheel, 29 front wheel, so I'm back to a mullet, whereas Darkfest and Tasmania I was 27 front and rear. That's gone out the window, thankfully. It rides so much better downhill with a 29 front wheel. I learnt my lesson. I've got a lighter rear spring, so that Olin spring is now a 525 pound spring. It was 571 before, so it's about 10% less heavy, so the rate is less. That essentially makes it softer, and I can use more travel through all the bumps. And having ridden it at Dovey and Hardline top section, it's so much more compliant and stable and settled, which again is amazing. I've still got a relatively firm fork because I do love the jumps. I do want to get the best out of the jumps. And Hardline's a different beast. You need heavy suspension and slightly harder tyres because you're hitting 90-foot jumps and you can't afford for the bike just to collapse underneath you. This is my new signature handlebar, so it's got my signature on it. A lot of people are asking about these. I think they're available like in the next week, so keep an eye out on Gusset. I'll do an announcement on these. I've actually got them at almost 800 mil, the widest I've ever run my handlebars. That is where a lot of stability comes from, and I need to kind of get my head into that mindset, my mind into that. Don't know which way it works. So this is the most like downhill setup I've ever ridden my downhill bike, and it's the time to do so. Full Shimano drivetrain, obviously 203 mil rotors front and rear, Saint calipers, Saint rear mech, Saint cranks, which is the downhill stuff, isn't it? XT levers. There's not much difference between an XT lever and a Saint lever, to be honest. The important thing is I've got the Saint calipers, Saint shifter, so it's Shimano'd up to the 9s with the best downhill stuff. Now these rims, God, I love these rims. They're chrome, they're completely silver. They're on black hubs with alternating silver black spokes. These were a bit like Marmite, a bit polarizing at Darkfest when I showed them off for the first time on a grey frame. On a red frame, they're even more like spot on. I think they're sick. They're a bit retro, but it's a rad new bike. I've picked that out. Pivotal saddle, which does up through the seat post. That's just like a bit of a nod towards slopestyle dirt jump. I'm not a racer, I don't need a carbon fibre saddle. I actually sit on the thing all day while chatting. Well, I haven't even talked about the colour. It was grey, it's been rawed and been repainted gloss red by the guys at Marin, who have also built it up for me. And this year at Hardline I have a mechanic, John Oldale, who's my boss man at Marin, and he has World Cup experience as a mechanic, so I'm very fortunate. He built this bike for me, so I entirely trust it. And yeah, this is the year. I feel like so much has happened for me. I've gone from being a dirt jumper to a slopestyle rider to a YouTube content creator that does all of those things, but now this year Like, my word, have I spent a lot of time on a big bike doing all mountain, big mountain content. Moving on, well, this has changed. I wanted to bring something fresh and extremely exciting to my dirt jump life, because I spend a lot of time on a dirt jump bike, and that's what I've done. And if you want to bring something fresh and exciting, a new look and feel to your business, Squarespace is the platform for you to do so. Everyone thinks that running an Instagram page is enough to run a business because it's so easy. You need a website, and Squarespace links all of that social media to itself. It populates itself, and then you've got e-commerce to sell your merch, all your products. You've got calendars to book appointments. If you're just finishing up that massage qualification, you need that website now. You can choose your domain name at the point of building your website and save 10% using the discount code below, Matt Jones. And if you want to sign up to a free trial, a 14-day free trial, which is so much time to build a website, I have a link in my description below for you to do so. So make the most of that, take advantage, build a website, succeed today. This bike then, that was pretty slick. I always get quite inspired by all the Crankworks bikes and the World Cup bikes, that people do these matching frame and fork paint jobs for their season, and I wanted to be a part of that. So there's a paint shop that's just opened up, a guy who does it all on his own, called Cherry Customs in Northampton, so only like an hour from where I live, and he does amazing work. He paints helmets, he paints frames. So I just went to him with an idea. I said, look, let's do a new frame, a new fork, because this is my Alcatraz, which hasn't changed for a while, even though there's new colours launching this year. And I said, let's just do something wild. And I've just bought a Mustang, a 1968 Ford Mustang, and Marin bikes are from Marin County, California. Can we do like an American like vibe theme? And he said, 100%, yeah, leave it to me. So without further ado, my new custom Alcatraz, which is the California sunset theme. The colours, I mean, we looked at California sunset pictures online. These are the colours, right? It has Alcatraz prison on it because it's a Marin Alcatraz. Alcatraz is in California. You can see it from the Golden Gate Bridge while driving to Marin County, the birthplace of mountain biking, where Marin is founded, and their HQ still exists today. The Evil As number plate, which is currently on my McLaren, but is my number plate, and he's put it in the Cali theme.
Mustang logo there.
Mustang logo there. It says Mustang here. I didn't bring my Mustang today, but I need to do a proper sunset driving shot with it on the Mustang. But the colours is one thing, and the fact the forks match and horizontally it all lines up, but the detail on this bike gets way more insane the closer you get, but also the more the sun comes out. So the head tube's a prime example. I don't know, Ben, if you what angle that shows. This is where it's cool, because when I first looked at the bike inside his showroom, you couldn't really see all this stuff, but can you see that now?
Yeah.
Behind the lacquer and in the black, there is so much detail. We've got like the outline of the California state, Route 66, palm trees, the Marin logo, the Marin bear, the Helfare logo. In this Marin logo here, can you see where do I have to shine it?
Oh yeah.
There's Helfare H's.
It's quite hard to see. Yeah, you can.
See that?
Wow. Yeah.
Even in the back end here, there's so much detail. And on a sunny day, when I'm driving and it's on the Mustang, when we get that shot, this bike looks so insane. It's on the borderline of being too wild. I mean, Dale, who's Cherry Customs, check him out on Instagram. His work is incredible. He's spent so much time on this. This is all airbrush, all done by hand. It's beautiful. There's Alcatraz down the top tube, lots of Helfare logos. It just feels Cali to me. It's California dreaming, baby. Actually, I haven't put the Marin head badge on it yet. Needs that. Yeah. But don't you love it? Well, the first time I saw it, I was like, whoa, it's a bag of Skittles, it's sweets, it's sweets. I've got sweeties in my van, but now it's like, I'm so into it. And when I took it outside in the sun, all I can see is all that detail. So it's got titanium cranks, absolute black oval chainring, the new Chaos wheels in this amazing kind of XTR grey colour, which matches my brake lever, but we just made it the coolest grey possible. On matching hubs, matching spokes. Listen to these bad boys. Sounds good, looks good. Got gusset components, so again my signature bar, but in higher rise on this. Stems are coming soon to match. The Goodyear Wingfoot tyres, dirt up front, park up on the rear. I've mastered the rear tyre seat tube slam. I mean, the wheel's a bit egged at the minute, but that's exactly as short as I want my bike to be. You can get Halo titanium bolt kits for this. So they're half the weight of the steel ones and they look bling. They're available in loads of colours. I run my rear brake on the right on this for bar spins. I've explained that before. Here's the XTR brake. Öhlins forks. It looks wild. I ought to put it on the Mustang and ride it really. That's the next video, but Right now I've met up with Ben because we're on our way to Hardline, where we're launching some insane Helfare kit that's really, really secret. For me, Jono and Adam Brayton, we've got our own custom kits. But they're all based around this. The brand new, redesigned Helfare rival jersey. This feels like wearing liquid. When you put it on, it's like, I don't know, do you know in Lord of the Rings when he wears mithril? And they're all like, oh, it's mithril. That's the feeling I get. I feel like I'm empowered when I wear this, and when Harry Potter wears his invisibility cloak, it's the same sort of vibe, you know? You just feel like you're amongst the world, but on a level that you never have been before. It's fully aerated. It's such a technical fabric. We've gone from factory to factory to factory to find a fabric that truly works. We do a Cadence jersey, which is our everyday jersey. This is tech. This is seriously tech. It looks incredible. Got the perfect amount of drop tail, because you wear mountain bike clothes in a different way to a normal top. Like, you're bent over. We've really gone to town on this. This ticks all the boxes, and I'm so excited. But keep your eyes peeled for our custom ones, which may or may not be available. But these rival jerseys are available now on helfare.com. I feel like I've filled in all the blanks because it's been busy. We've got new bikes, new kit, and I haven't really painted a picture or told the story. But now I feel like it's out there and we can get back to Hardline stress-free. It's not going to be stress-free, it's going to be outrageous. But let's get up there. Legends.